Happy Monday if you're watching this. I'm going to go ahead and just get to it. The idea behind this was the term gearhead. It's something I've sketched a bunch of times, I've tried to put together, and it's probably in a bunch of my sketchbooks where I either try and fit engine bay parts, wheel parts off of cars with heads or figures in some form or another. I saw this really cool fender down shot in a B is for Build video on YouTube where it showed a tire, headers, and a valve cover in an engine, if you know what that stuff is. The whole idea was simple though, trying to take parts from a car and human body parts, more so the head, and combine them into the same design. I would say this is a graphic design even though it's with ink and watercolor. Interesting thing that I learned recently, I did not know that Art Nouveau is considered graphic, which makes sense now that I look at it, how it's like line work and somewhat solid colors. If you don't know what Art Nouveau is, Google it. I don't know how to spell it. I'll probably put it up in this video. Alright, I'm at a minute so far, trying to keep this short. The whole idea though, like I was saying, is to combine the two ideas. So I really like the pattern on the tire. I wanted to include that. I wanted to include the valve cover, more so for myself. I've done a couple pieces with valve covers already. I like them. I thought the headers were really cool because it worked with hair. Kind of had that flowy feel to it. Then there was the face. You can clearly see in the video. I took this from a figure. I pulled it off like a Google search, something like that. Dude with the beard, long hair, white guy. I don't know why it looks like me. My wife walked up and the very first thing she said was, "Is that a picture of you?" It's not. And it wasn't intended to be, but it really looks me, especially at my hair length right now. It's weird. I don't know. It looks like me. So when I originally had this idea, I wanted this like old school English, kind of like religious kings and queens, where it's like a very flat picture, but they're like holding a scepter or something. So I wanted to put this wrench in his hand. And then when I drew the wrench, I felt like it looked a little too plain. So I added the bolt to it. But then after I added the bolt to it, all I could think of was my friend Cedric and just how he's like, "Bro, is that a nail in the tire? Is that what this is? The whole picture is this guy removing a nail from a tire?" It's still stuck in my head every time I look at it. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place in this video, and I'm coming up on 3 minutes. But just to go over supplies, I'm using Fudenosuke brush pens. One of them is a Pentel pen. It's not this brown one that I'm holding. It's the black one. By the way, I recommend against this. Can you recommend against things? I don't recommend this. I don't recommend this because it's not waterproof. So if you want to use watercolors with it and use this, it's going to bleed all over your paper like you're going to see here in a minute. So I think the brand name is Sakura for these ones that I was using for the hair, for the first part of the hair. They worked out great because as you go over them with watercolors or gouache, whatever you want to use, they won't bleed because they're waterproof after they've dried. They also come in like a small, medium, and large tip as well as like a brush tip. I use all of them. For the big areas that I wanted to cover in black, I used this Magnum Sharpie. Seriously though, every time I use this thing, it's weird holding it. I feel like it's a joke. I'm at 4 minutes now. I gotta stop this thing and cut it down even shorter. Really, all it is that you're missing is me drawing a whole bunch of hairlines and filling in the beard. That's it. You didn't miss a whole lot. I started with the color. I wanted to do contrasting where it's like bright yellows and browns and then purples and blues. So it kind of has a pop when you get to the end of it. Speaking of the end, I'm getting close to it. I had 2 questions I want to ask before I finish this. Number 1, if anybody's watching this and they do artwork, like create artwork, what music do you guys listen to? And the second is, what are your thoughts on live streams? I've thought about doing this since my pictures don't take that long. And you can see the entire process as I'm doing it. Let me know what you think. So this is my picture Gearhead, all finished up. If you enjoy watching this, like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later.